And then stage 3, this might seem obvious, folks, but believe it or not, most people don't do it, and that's why the plan never happens. Plan time to plan. So you have this great vision you've caught, you're beginning to feel it, and you want to create a plan, and you just sort of kind of let it fit in wherever it's going to fit in. And the problem is it doesn't fit. If this already fit into your life, you'd already be living that life. Does that make sense? So you have to actually plan to plan. You got to sit down with your calendar and you got to look at your schedule and actually create a plan to give you time to sit down to create a plan. Okay? So that's very, very important, because otherwise what happens, if you're familiar with Stephen Covey's work in the different quadrants, the 4 quadrants, there's the important but not urgent. And that's where we want to live most of our life. Important stuff is like capturing the vision of your life, cultivating the inner congruent conditions, planning. These are like really important things, you know, taking the time to be with yourself, to meditate, to pray, to be with your loved ones. These are very important, but they're rarely urgent. But when you spend most of your time in the important but not urgent, you have the highest leverage and the highest impact in your life. However, most people spend their time in the next quadrant, which is urgent and important, or the quadrant after that, which is urgent and not important, or even worse, not important and not urgent. Urgent and important is, you know, you might have a relationship that's in crisis, and it's important, and it's also a fire you have to put out. Or you might have a job that's very important, that's bringing in your income, and it's important, but there's deadlines and there's urgency. There might be some emails you have to answer, and they're beckoning you with a sense of urgency. So you might have a physical issue that's calling for urgent attention, and those are important. So you definitely need to deal with them. But the more time you spend in the important but not urgent category, the less time you have to spend. In other words, the more time you spend being with your loved ones when it's not urgent, the less urgent crises you'll have in your relationships that fires you have to put out. The more time you spend planning and visioning and cultivating the inner conditions, the less time you'll spend in the urgent category, having to frantically scramble to finish a project or to get one started or to catch up, because you've done the planning and you're on your path. And then of course there's the urgent but not important, and that's what you get when you open your email box every morning, which is a whole lot of urgent but not important. In other words, it's somebody else's urgency that they're trying to foist upon you. Get it? And then of course, then there's the unimportant and not urgent, and that's the sort of mindless TV watching, mindless gossiping, mindless chit chat, mindless surfing of the internet that doesn't really add any real value to your life or anybody's life, but it sort of distracts you from what's really important or what's urgent and important. So this isn't just going to fall on top of your head. It's not going to just suddenly like, bing, I have time to plan. If you have to take time to plan in the first place, then you're not going to have the time to plan. Okay? I don't mean to make this such a puzzle, but I think you get the point. Make the time. Plan the time to plan. Okay?